What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So we have a couple of things to talk about in regards to Call of Duty and Battlefield 6. It looks like Call of Duty executives or Activision executives have actually spoken out about the Battlefield 6 competition, and they said some pretty interesting things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you do find the video informative or helpful at any point, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing is Call of Duty did do a brand new store update, and this brought in the I Know What You Did Last Summer crossover collaboration. So it is going to be available in the store currently at the moment. We did go over all the upcoming operator bundles and things like that. If you're interested in it, I'll have the video link down in the description. But this is the crossover we have for this update. We're going to get another one, which will include an event pass and all of that stuff. But let's talk about the main topic today, and that is Call of Duty and Battlefield 6. We know that the competition is very heavy. Battlefield 6 looking like they're coming out on top based on a lot of the stats that we've been seeing so far. And I mean, numbers really don't lie. And that's one of the things that people have been looking at in terms of viewership, players actually playing the game. And we know that the competition is pretty crazy because Battlefield is breaking all of these different records. For example, Charlie Intel said, EA says that Battlefield 6's open beta is already Battlefield's biggest beta ever. Players are seeing queue times when logging in. So that's like a good sign for Battlefield that players are enjoying what they're playing at the moment. They don't want to get off the game. Other players are trying to load in, and the queue just consistently keeps getting longer and longer because so many people want to play the game. On top of this, they're also doing crazy updates. For example, they've prevented over 330,000 attempts at cheating since the beta has started. Obviously, every single game is going to have that group of people that are going to try and cheat on it. It doesn't matter what game it is, they're going to find a way to cheat. Well, Battlefield 6's anti-cheat, it looks like it's working overtime. A lot of people have been saying that although they've been playing Battlefield, they haven't seen as many cheaters. They haven't dealt with it as often as they did with, like, say, Black Ops 6's beta or what's currently going on with Warzone right now. So that's like something on the other end that they're doing that Call of Duty just isn't doing. And then it says right here, since open beta early access launch, Javelin, which is their anti-cheat software, has prevented 330,000 attempts to cheat or tamper with anti-cheat controls. You've reported 44,000 instances of potential cheaters during day one and another 60,000 so far today. We are already using these with our own gameplay integrity team to add and improve our detections for Battlefield 6. They're also working with the Battlefield Positive Play team to actively remove those reported we confirmed to be cheaters. Anti-cheat isn't one and done, and it's an ever-evolving Battlefield, and what has worked for us previously or in different games doesn't always work in all of them. So even though they've banned this many players, they're still apologizing because they feel like they haven't done enough. While you got Call of Duty, on the other hand, talking about an entire update and how they banned like 100,000 players out of, a couple months span, while Battlefield 6's beta has only been around for a couple of days and they've already banned 330,000 players. So you already start seeing the difference there. Then it continues forward. So if you take a look at Twitch's viewership rate in terms of Battlefield 6, it's currently sitting at around 225,000 players. Obviously, this depends on the time of the day or whenever you check on it, but this is just a random day that I took a screenshot of. It was 225,000. Wasn't even the first day of like the Battlefield beta dropping, which was way higher than this. And then you compare it to Call of Duty, and they currently have 30,000 players. So it's like you see the major difference here where they're already getting almost 10 times the amount of viewers that Call of Duty is getting at the moment. And obviously that one you could chalk it up to say, okay, maybe because Call of Duty hasn't revealed BO7 or during Black Ops 7's beta, the viewerships is probably going to be way higher than Battlefield after it launches a couple weeks down the line and stuff like that. So then you take a look at Battlefield 6's open beta on Steam and seeing the amount of players playing it, and they've actually reached a new peak of 520,000 players on Steam, beating the highest peak Call of Duty has ever had in its history, and that was a total of 491,000 during the launch of Black Ops 6. Now, the fact is, obviously, it's a beta, it's free to play. BO6, you needed to own the game, so there are different like inconsistencies there, and then at the same time, Call of Duty offers it on Game Pass, they offer it on console, they offer it on Battle.net. Even if you're on PC, there's like 3 different platforms you could play it on PC. Well, I believe Battlefield is just EA and then Steam. So the numbers, yeah, sure. You can also say that maybe Battlefield really isn't winning, because when we get a free beta, if we get a free beta with BO7, they could actually end up breaking these records that Battlefield has currently going on. Now, regardless of this, the fact is Battlefield 6 is the biggest competition that Call of Duty has had in a couple of years, and this is something that you would think is good for everyone, right? Obviously, Call of Duty is going to push out better updates. They're going to try and do a lot more work and be more consistent, give us better content to go through, because they're going to have that fear in the back of their mind that players are ready to dip out and leave and go play Battlefield in an instant. And then Battlefield also confirming they're releasing a Battle Royale to directly compete with Warzone, which will be free to play, and that'll be launching a couple of months after the launch of Battlefield 6. So the competition is not going to stop anytime soon with Call of Duty, and you would think that maybe would be a good thing, but Activision executives actually finally spoke out about the competition with Battlefield, and this is what Charlie Intel said. He said Activision executives reportedly aren't too worried about Battlefield 6 as they believe Call of Duty is too big to fail. Activision reportedly has the next 4 annual Call of Duty titles in the works. So that is basically the answer that they gave when saying, oh, what are your thoughts on Battlefield 6, you know, stealing player attention, taking, you know, players away from you, topping the charts in terms of most amount of pre-orders and things like that. They say we don't care. Call of Duty is way too big to fail. The game has been around for so long, and okay, sure, maybe Battlefield will take some players, but overall, it's not going to negatively impact Call of Duty in any way. Now, that's not really a mindset that I was hoping they would have, because if that is the case and they have that type of mindset, that means they're going to keep doing what they're doing right now, and as a result, they may end up actually losing players, because no one wants BO7 to have the same sort of post-seasonal updates that Black Ops 6 has had. And the reason why I feel like Black Ops 6 has been going downhill since launch is they had a really good start. I'll give them that. Everyone was playing the game, everyone was having fun, but then they just stopped doing the consistent updates. After like Season 1 Reloaded, it just got like, they kept doing delays, the updates weren't really hitting the same, they were giving us the bare minimum. Event camo, something that people have been requesting, they drip feed them to us, and the events really aren't that great. I mean, they're doing zombie events to give you gobblegum, so it's like not something that will make someone load up the game to play, and that's what I hope that Call of Duty doesn't continue doing, especially with like Black Ops 7. And BO7 so far, I think, has probably the least hype out of every Call of Duty that I've seen being marketed so far. Obviously, the official marketing hasn't really officially started, and the reveal hasn't been shown yet, but it just seems like not as many people are excited for the next Call of Duty this time around. By this time last year, Black Ops 6 was like all over the place. Everyone wanted to play the game. Everyone was waiting for it. Everyone had already pre-ordered it. This time around, I'm curious to see what people are going to think after the reveal trailer. But what are your thoughts? Do you think Call of Duty needs to step it up? What do you think about what the Activision executives have said? But that is all that I got for you guys here in today's video. Hoping this could be a good thing for everyone. So people who want to enjoy both Battlefield and Call of Duty, we get good updates from both games. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys back on the channel again. Peace.